What is happening, people? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am D, and you are at Divination with D. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate everyone for, you know, tuning into my channel and watching my videos. I've been so surprised lately at some of the views that I've been getting because I'm really starting to attend to this channel a little bit more. And so I'm really grateful for the views that I've been getting. I wanted to, y'all gotta forgive me because I am like trying to get some other things done for my other channel. So my head will be down a bit. But I did want to kind of talk to you guys about some things because of an experience that I had yesterday. Now, if you don't know and are not familiar with my other channel, I have two other channels. I have Ivy Vibes Tarot, and the vibes is with a Z, and then I also have Through Ivy's Eyes, and that kind of goes into my homeless journey. That's a bit more. Anyway, I wanted to talk about because of what happened to me yesterday, dealing with your shadow self, and healing. Sometimes, I won't say sometimes, all the time, most times, it's going to, it may not look pretty. It could be very triggering for some people when it comes to dealing with their shadow self. And just to be clear about your shadow self is that part of you that is the unconscious part of you. Okay. It's the part that goes into learned behaviors that you have. It deals with what you reject, the side of you that you don't really like or don't care to talk about. That's where you carry the guilt and the shame and emotions that may not feel so good. It also is the part of you where you may tend to, and it may seem strange, but you may tend to reject qualities about yourself that are actually positive. So, when it comes to the unconscious aspects of who you are, ask yourself, what are you unaware of that you do and why? And this is how you'll know. Other people will point those things out in you, and you may be like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. And unless you are aware, try to be aware of your behaviors and what you do, what you tend to feel when it comes to certain things. You'll catch it. You will catch it. You will catch those things about yourself that you do that you really don't like to do. And I'll say this is a big one. One of the ways that you can tell is because a lot of times when we are growing up, we don't really like certain things that our parents do. And I won't say always, but 9 times out of 10, we end up doing that very same thing that we did not like that our parents did when we parent. And we're like, oh my God, I'm turning into my mom, or I'm turning into my dad, or I can't believe that, I did X, Y, Z. I sound like my mother right now, or whatever. But you will notice that you will tend to start picking up behaviors and doing things that you don't like that your parents did. That is becoming aware. That is dealing with that unconscious self part of you that you just almost do things without even realizing it. Those are the things that deal with the shadow self. So it's also, like I said, dealing with those parts of you that, I know I'm here pretty early, those rejected qualities about yourself. And these are things or traits that you feel are negative, like anger, you could perceive as being negative. Laziness, you could perceive as being negative. Even for some, what are positive qualities may be looked at as or labeled as being negative, like having a strong ambition. Independent women, and I have to say this, independent women tend to get labeled like they're aggressive a lot, because they are on this trajectory where they're pursuing really hard their career, and they don't have time for a relationship, and they're trying to climb that corporate ladder or whatever it is that they're doing. They just have their goals in mind of what they want to achieve. They're very, very ambitious, and people will say that you're being overly aggressive, stuff like that. My hair is just a mess right now. I'm sorry, I keep messing with it. But being ambitious is not necessarily a bad quality. I mean, hell, we need ambition. If everybody was lazy and didn't do anything, then how would anything get done in the world? So sometimes there's positive qualities about yourself that you may have to deal with because they may have been labeled as being negative. Like as a kid, if you tend to speak up for yourself, okay, and that may be something that your family may talk about in a negative way and say how like how you've always just kind of spoke your mind, like you're just supposed to let everybody walk all over you and do whatever it is that they want, like you don't have the right to speak up for yourself. Look at those things that you had to deal with within yourself as a child and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? For me, it was being timid and a people pleaser. And I think that it has to do more with the intentions and motivation of why those things come about, because it's all dependent upon how those things make you feel. There's nothing wrong with pleasing somebody. I think we do things to please people all the time. If you work, you do your work to please your boss. If you are a mother, you do certain things to please your children. As a friend, we do certain things to please our friends. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with pleasing people. And even ourselves, we do certain things for ourselves to please us, to make us happy. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's the way that you feel about it, how you've been made to feel about it. My timidity came from a time of being told that I could not speak up for myself. Like if I so-called spoke out of turn, I get popped in the mouth. And so because of that, and me always being told to be quiet or whatever, it caused me to draw into myself. And so I've not always had the best view when it comes to, how can I say this right? Because this is something that I've been working on as I've gotten older. Really just speaking up more for myself and not feeling like something is wrong with it. And that goes into me building my confidence and feeling like it's okay to speak my mind, because at a young age, that was something that I was kind of steered away from doing, or was made to feel bad about, because I may say something that was shocking to people, or something that I shouldn't be saying. So when you look at, even disowned potential that you have, and this is something that I did kind of touch on, but I talked about it in a different sense. One, I draw, and I wanted to be an artist and draw for Disney. That was like a great goal of mine. And I also wanted to be a fashion designer, but because of my mother's negative experience, her projection on me of her own fears caused me to doubt my talents and abilities. So I've never really felt that I would be able to succeed at things that I really wanted to do, because it kind of bled over into other areas of my life. I'm sorry, it's that time of year, I guess, and my nose, please forgive me. But that having confidence and believing in yourself is a good quality, but you'll find that if somebody else is unable to attain certain things, they will project that negativity on you. And then that may, not always, but it may become a part of your shadow self that you then have to deal with. And a lot of times these things that we have to deal with that come up that are in our shadow self are things that stem from our childhood. So when it comes to those are things that you have to begin to work on, to embrace, to really take a look at and ask yourself, why? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? This is going into looking at your belief system, your value system. I am rewriting my story, and I believe a lot of things differently. And I won't even say differently, but now I would say I have more courage to stand up for what I believe in, that I did believe when I was younger, and I held on to those beliefs when it comes to certain aspects of spirituality. But when you start to really dig into your shadow self, you'll question so much, and you'll find growth and strength there if you really are doing the work on yourself. And you will notice a difference. Other people will notice a difference. It's so funny because I had a visit with a friend, and she was kind of like, "You so different." Like, who are you, kind of thing. And there's still, those elements of me, of who I was. But now I'm just kind of like me on steroids. because I'm doing the work on myself to grow and to deal with those parts of myself that I haven't always wanted to embrace, which is the guilt and shame, and asking myself, where does this come from? Because a lot of times we will carry guilt and shame of things that has nothing to do with us. It was something that was put on us from family members, from friends in our childhood time. And so when you are really ready to have that growth and see that growth and feel empowered, taking full control of your life, you'll start to get into doing the shadow work for yourself. And I'm gonna tell you, it can be challenging, but it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. Getting over some of those learned behaviors and dealing with the negative emotions like depression. These are things I think that we also may tend to hide. We don't want to embrace that side of us. But the thing is, I always say, if you don't embrace that side of you, how can you fully love yourself? Because we're not just one part. It's not like just one thing makes up who we are. And a lot of times, because of how people view these things, we don't want to embrace the fact that we may speak up, or that we have moments of where we get really, really sad and have depression. Even, I don't know. The thing is, in order for you to fully love who you are, you have to embrace those things. And I'm going to tell you like this. Sometimes those traits that you are not so fond of or don't want to talk about so much can actually save you and help you. It may not, seem like it, but they are traits that could actually help you and save you. I know, for myself, it's been, I ain't gonna lie, it's been a bit of a lonely road. Just coming into my own, even at an older age. But I respect myself so much more now. And I find that there's a different quality of people that are attracted to me. And because of the field that I'm in, I feel like now all those qualities that I looked at and the way that I'm able to care for myself actually has a decent impact on other people, because they learn through my example, even my kids. All I'm saying is, embracing your shadow self can bring you the power that you need for yourself, and it can actually help you to change, really, really change. And it's rewarding. It's rewarding. I've come so far in my life, and the path that I'm on now, I tell you, I would not change it for anything. I would not change it for anything. I continue to do my work, and I also see that now, because of where I am before, like how timid I was to talk up and say things, I'm not and I still work on it because I still have moments sometimes where I do fall back, but I'm more able now to speak up for myself, and my confidence has grown more than ever now than when I was younger. Don't allow yourself to be stuck in a place simply because you're afraid of what people are going to think. I don't care now what people think. I care a bit less, I'll say, of what people think than when I was younger. And that goes especially for my family. And the amazing thing with that is that I've been slowly seeing my family that disowned me and abandoned me through my homeless journey actually starting to come around now. I tell you, whatever you have inside will be projected out, and then it also comes back to you. So, I don't know. Work on your shadow self. You're going to build your confidence. You're going to see a whole new you. If you are really trying to get on the road to becoming a new person, jump that timeline and go from where you are to where you want to be, and you will get there. So that is all I wanted to say. I just wanted to speak a little bit on that just because of the situation, like I said, that I had encountered yesterday. So I hope that you all are doing well. Thank you again for just coming and listening to me do my little rant. But I wish you well on your journey. So until the next time, you guys, be well.